The JoLynn Braley Show, episode number 123. How to stop being confused with all of that crazy, mismatching, contradicting diet information. Do this, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. How to get through all the BS and actually get results. Hello, welcome back to the JoLynn Braley Show. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, weight loss mindset expert, founder of the Inner Self Diet, the diet that actually works, the diet that is not a diet, meaning that I don't actually tell my clients that they need to eat a certain way in order to lose weight and keep it off. I do have my own opinions, and I'm going to share those with you today on this podcast here on the JoLynn Braley Show. However, the work that I do with my coaching clients is all about the inner self, all right? Because here's the thing. My clients already know how to lose weight. They've done it. They've done it before. They've done it more than once, a lot of them. That's not the problem. The problem is that they haven't been able to keep the weight off. They always go back to their old habits before working with me. They can't stop binge eating. They can't stop emotional eating. They can't stop obsessing. They never feel like they're good enough. And I guide them out of those struggles so that they're able to just live a healthy freaking lifestyle, which is what you've got to be able to get to if you're ever going to not just reach your ideal weight, but maintain it and stay there, okay? No more of this yo-yo dieting, no more of this crazy up and down, and you're strict 1 minute and you're binge eating the next minute and you're either good or you're bad. No more of that. But the way to get out of that is you've got to take the inner self journey. You've got to heal from the inside out. And those are the steps that I lead my awesome coaching clients through. I'm a certified master NLP practitioner, certified professional coach, I'm certified in law of attraction coaching too, which, a lot of people are very confused with how the law of attraction works. The law of attraction does not mean that you can just sit around and meditate forever and you'll finally lose weight. No, you got to take action, all right? So that's another topic for another day. Today, what we're talking about is how to stop being confused with all of these crazy ass new diets and tricks and tips and do this, don't do that. All these little things that keep popping up and telling you to do this or take this route. You know what? Bottom line, weight loss is not rocket science. And I'm going to share with you the biggest solution, the biggest secret for the physical side of things. All right? Now, the problem is what I'm going to share with you is extremely difficult to do if you don't have the right mindset, if you haven't healed the root of your emotional eating, your binge eating, your low self-worth, low self-confidence, low self-esteem, all of these challenges that stop you and will stop you from doing the simple thing that I'm going to share with you today. Hey, before we go any further, if you don't already have my free ebook, go get it. Why not? It's totally free. Just head on over to www.easyfunweightloss.com, easyfunweightloss.com. Enter your first name, enter your email address. You can download it, read it, do my 3 steps to start making weight loss easier from the inside out. You can get that at www.easyfunweightloss.com. By the way, notice what kind of thoughts come up for you when you hear easy, fun weight loss. Do you immediately think, oh, well, that's impossible, that's a scam, that's a lie, that could never work, there's no such thing as easy, fun weight loss? Well, that shows you a really big clue and insight into your current mindset. You know? You know what I mean, Jean? You gotta become aware of what you are thinking in your own mind, the negativity that you are spewing for yourself. Nobody else is doing this to you. All right? Because the truth is, weight loss can become simple, easy, fun, and no big deal if you get the right mindset. All right? That's the big key, because mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. You know, there are people on this planet who don't understand you. They don't get it, why you have such a problem with the binge eating, the emotional eating, why you have such a problem with dieting, because to them, in their mindset, they have such a fit mindset that there is no such thing as dieting. It's just healthy eating, and that's just how you live. Now, I understand you because I've been there. I understand the mental games and how you put yourself down, and I understand your negative self-talk. I have totally been in the struggle with the emotional eating, the binge eating, the self-sabotage, all of that stuff. So I understand, but I'm not going to enable anybody to stay there and say, oh, that's too bad, you're such a victim, you're so powerless, you're just always going to be fat. Because that's not true. You can change if you are willing to do the work to change. And the most important change that you've got to make is the change in your own head. You've got to change your mindset. And that's the work that I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. I actually have specific steps that I lead them through. All they have to do is follow the instructions, follow the steps, and they are struggle-free with food and their weight in 8 weeks or less. That does not mean that they're at their goal weight in 8 weeks or less, because a lot of my clients, they have 20 pounds or more to release. It's the physical journey of releasing the fat that takes the longest amount of time. Because if you're dropping 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week, you're doing great. You just have to stick with it and stay consistent. And it's not a big deal to stay consistent with healthy living once you have the right mindset. I'm always going to come back to that. If you have listened to any of my other episodes on the JoLynn Braley Show, you've heard me say this over and over again, because it's just how it is. If you don't get your head right, you will always struggle to get your body right. Okay? Mind leads the body. Think of your mind as a machine. It's a computer. And if your mind is programmed to be fat, then you're thinking fat thoughts, you're feeling fat emotions, you're feeling fat hopelessness, you're feeling fat victimhood, and you've got fat on your body, and you've got fat behaviors. Do you know what fat is? Does that word set you off into a trail of negative thinking? Okay, why? Why? Fat is simply fear attracting thoughts. F-A-T, fear attracting thoughts. That's what the person who's got all of the extra fat on the outside, that's at the bottom of what's driving their unhealthy behaviors on the inside. Fear. Some kind of fear. And hey, I'm not a therapist. I'm a kick-ass permanent weight loss coach. Coaching is all about starting from where you are and moving forward. And that's what I do with my coaching clients. And the cool thing about that is you don't have to know where exactly you got off track. You don't have to go back and try to change things in your past or whatever. You have no power in your past. All power is in your present moment. And whatever you do now is going to determine what you do going forward, or what your results are going forward. What you do now determines what you're going to look like 6 months from now, and how you're going to feel, and how you're going to show up, and what you're going to be thinking. But you have to start making the changes now. Now. Get a weight loss mindset to fix these things on the inside that are making your body fat on the outside, and they're keeping you trapped in the cycle of diet, deprive, binge, weight gain, diet, deprive, binge, weight gain. It's your mindset that's keeping you trapped in that stuff. Like I said, rewind to the beginning when I was talking about the fact that there really are people on the planet who don't get it. They don't get what you go through. They don't get what I've gone through, because to them, their mindset is so fit. Who they are is they are fit, they eat healthy. It's not dieting. It's just living healthy and fit. Now imagine if you could get to that place, which you can if you go about it from the inside out. If you were to go about it from the inside out, get the right mindset, and become the you who just naturally lives a healthy lifestyle no matter what time of year it is, no matter what season it is, and you're feeling awesome about you without apology. Okay? No guilt over taking time to take care of your body, to do the things that you do need to do to live a healthy lifestyle. You've got to cook, you've got to plan ahead. All right? But there's things that you need to do to live healthy and fit. Imagine if that was just who you were. No big deal. How easy would it be for you to get to your ideal weight and maintain it? It would not be any big deal, would it? So, what makes all that easy? What makes it fun? What gives you easy, fun weight loss is the mindset. Mindset is 92.8% of the challenge. 7.2% of the challenge is the healthy eating and exercise, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about on today's podcast, about how to stop being confused by all of this crazy ass shit that keeps coming out, this diet, that diet, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and there's always something new, all right? Here's how to stop being confused by this stuff. You get off of processed foods, you eat real food, and you live a healthy lifestyle using portion control. Get plenty of sleep every night. Sleep is important, believe it or not. Not just the right number of hours, but you've got to get deep sleep. Your body is not going to release fat efficiently if you're not getting enough sleep and if you're not getting deep sleep. Why wouldn't a person get enough sleep at night? Because they have such low value, low self-value, low self-worth, that they're giving all their time to everybody else and everything else, and they're not taking care of themselves. And that's where 99.9% of my coaching clients are when they first hire me to have me help them to get out of their food and weight struggles. It's very common, and you have to get to the place where you are okay with taking care of yourself. What do you have to give to anybody else if you don't have good health and good mental capacity and good energy and good focus for yourself first? You know that old saying, oh, I'd give you the shirt off my back. If you don't have a shirt on your back, you can't give it away. And that shirt on your back is a metaphor for your self-care and your self-love. You can't give love, real love, energy, attention. You know, love is a verb, it's not a word. You can't give that to another person if you don't have it for yourself. If you're not getting enough sleep at night because you're giving all your time to everybody else and everything else, and you can't say no and you can't say yes to yourself, how are you ever going to live a healthy lifestyle and get the body that you deeply desire and deeply deserve? You have to believe you deserve it. See, people think they have a weight problem. You don't. You have a life problem. You've got a mindset problem. It's the core issues that need to shift. And then this other stuff that is just simple lifestyle living stuff. Like what I'm talking about right now, getting enough sleep, getting the right number of hours, but deep sleep. You've got to get enough sleep at night. You've got to be drinking enough water every day. I shoot for 100 ounces every day. That's what I drink, 100 ounces of just plain water. I do drink tea also, but that's in addition to my bottom line 100 ounces of water. Why wouldn't a person just drink clean, plain water? Oh, some people complain, oh, I don't like the taste of it. Why? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because water is what, isn't your body 80% water, something like that? You could take a fresh lemon and squeeze that in a glass of water. But when I talk about clean, clear water, I mean water that does not have any sugar, additives, nothing added to it. So Diet Coke does not count. All right? Basics of healthy living. Plenty of clean water drinking every day. All right? Getting enough sleep at night. Deep sleep. Deep, restful, deep sleep. So your body can refresh and renew. There's a lot of things that go on when your body is sleeping, resting, recharging. There have been studies done that the body does not release the fat if you're not getting the right amount and the right kind of sleep. You can Google it. Okay? I don't want this podcast to be a 2-hour podcast, so I'm not going to go into all those details. But make Google your best friend. You can research these things. Okay? Eat regular food, plain, real food. And if your immediate thought is the excuse, oh, I don't have time for that. Well, then you don't have time to value yourself and your body and get what you want. Processed food is not going to lead you to the promised land. The promised land being this body that you want, this goal weight you want to get to and maintain. Real food. What is real food? Real food is food that you've got to cook. If you eat meat like I do, and I'm not going to apologize for eating meat. No, I'm not going to become a vegan or a vegetarian. That doesn't work for me. I don't feel good. And I'm not going to eat in a certain way to get other people to like me. I am eating in the way that works the best for me. It helps me feel the best. It gives me the mental clarity. It's the only thing that has ever worked for me to help me release fat from my body. Now, if you only eat when you're physically hungry and you stop when you're physically full, even if you're eating processed foods, you can release fat. But it will take a lot longer. And the processed food is not going to give you the mental clarity and the focus that you can get from just returning to basics. Okay, basics. Chicken breast, carrots, potatoes, rice, sweet potatoes, eggs, oatmeal, oats, regular whole oats, not quick oats or any kind that has been processed. Quaker oats that you've got to cook. Apples, berries, just regular food. Regular food. Now, you do need to use portion control, okay? And I eat a protein with each meal or snack. Bottom line, what I'm saying here is the way to stop being confused by all of these crazy new diets and this one, that one, there's always something new coming out. Go back to basics. Have you ever realized or researched or noticed that before the 1950s, there was not an obesity problem? Have you ever wondered why? Because processed food was not the norm. People ate real food. People cooked. And if you say you don't have time to cook, I cook in bulk, which means that I take one day, usually Sunday afternoon, and I cook a lot of food. And so then throughout the week, I am eating the same meals for, several days for some of my meals. And you could say, oh, well, isn't that boring? No, because I like the food. I like the recipes I make. and then I make something else as soon as all of that food is done. Or if I do get bored, then what I do is I take those portions and I freeze them, and then I make something else. It's not a big deal. But I really enjoy the food I eat and I cook. And I actually like cooking. I really, in fact, I need to cook, otherwise I will get bored and it's easy for me to lose focus. But I don't cook every day. I used to work a corporate job many years ago, and what I would do is I would do the same thing. I would cook in bulk, and then I'd portion my meals out, and I would use little Ziploc storage containers, and each night, at the end of the night before I'd go to bed, I would portion out my meals for the next day. They'd be in the refrigerator, and then I'd put them in my little insulated lunch bag and take those to work the next day, put them in the work refrigerator, and then I'd have my food. Everyone else was ordering Chinese food, fried chicken, all kinds of stuff. Hey, I understand. I know how good that food can taste and how addictive it is, but it's not going to give me the results that I want in my body, and I end up feeling bad later. So why do that to myself? So the way to stop being confused and to get results, you've got to change your lifestyle. You've got to go back to basics. If you've never heard what I'm talking about here on this podcast, if I sound like I'm speaking a foreign language, just go Google, how do bodybuilders eat? Okay, bodybuilders eat really clean. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't look at all like a bodybuilder. I don't plan to be a bodybuilder. But eating real food works. It's the fastest way to release the fat from the body. Fast meaning 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. If you're expecting to release more than that per week, you're setting yourself up for failure. The only people who release more than 1 to 2 pounds of fat from their body per week are people who are morbidly obese. And a lot of what they're releasing is fluid. Okay? 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week, you're doing fantastic. Hey, you know what? If you're 50 pounds overweight and you were to drop only 1 pound a week for the next year, that would be 52 pounds. The only reason that you want to lose weight fast is because you think that it's going to make you feel better. Well, that's a mindset problem. When you get the right mindset, you got to get into the place, you do get into the place. When you have the right mindset, you get into the place where you're feeling good now, while you are on the physical path of releasing the excess fat. The easiest way to release that excess fat, the easiest way to stop being confused, is to go back to basics. Get off the processed foods. Shop in the perimeter of the store where the foods are sold that if you don't prepare them within a certain amount of time, they're going to go bad in your refrigerator and then you have to throw them out. Foods that spoil quickly are the best foods for your body because that's real food. Food that you buy that can sit on your shelf in a box for a year, that is highly processed food. Eat that to make yourself fat, to make your body fat. Hey, that food would be great in an emergency, so it has its uses. It's not the worst thing in the world. But if you're struggling with overweight or obesity, go back to basics. Stop the confusion. Just get off the processed foods. You've got to just turn it into a healthy lifestyle. All right? Now remember, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult to do what I'm saying when you have the right mindset. Mindset's 92.8% of the challenge. But if your mindset is all wadded up in struggle. I've had clients before who they are self-aware before they start working with me, which is really cool. And they recognize that their whole life they've created struggle for themselves. They make things harder than things need to be. And that's a great awareness to have, because you got to first become aware before you can make a change. The thing is, though, what makes it easy to live a healthy lifestyle is getting the right mindset. You've got to get your head right. And then getting off the processed foods, living healthy and fit, it really is not any big deal. If you want help doing that, I'll tell you how you could take your first step before we get done with this podcast today. It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show. This week's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is my free ebook, which you can download right away, right now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. www.easyfunweightloss.com is where you can get my 3 simple steps to start making weight loss easier from the inside out. That download is specifically for you if you're struggling with emotional eating, binge eating, and yo-yo dieting. So you can get that now at www.easyfunweightloss.com. Okay, a couple questions to ask yourself on each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show. I've been giving you questions to ask yourself. I highly recommend that you write each question down, pen on paper. Then write your answer down, pen on paper. Why? Because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper. You do not get that connection if you type on a keyboard. You don't get the connection at all if you just listen to my voice. You just hear me talking on and on and on. It pretty much goes in one ear and out the other ear. So I highly recommend that you grab pen and paper, pause the podcast, give yourself time to go through each question, write down each answer. Okay, first question. What are all, and you're asking yourself these questions, what are all of my negative thoughts that come up when I imagine living a healthy lifestyle? Not just some kind of short-term diet, not a cleanse that I know I won't be able to sustain, not a boot camp that I know I won't be able to sustain, not anything short-term, something that is not a lifestyle for you. All right? So we're talking about a healthy lifestyle that goes on and on and on and on. A healthy lifestyle doesn't mean you never, ever, ever eat a cookie, but a healthy lifestyle means that you really don't want to eat cookies. You're not drawn to cookies. You're not using food for comfort. You're not seeking out food as your best friend. You're not seeking out food as your crutch or your lover or your fun. You're living a healthy lifestyle. You're loving your life. You're loving your life. Okay, and food is fueling you and you enjoy what you eat, but food is not your life. Your life is your life. All right? So what are all of my negative thoughts that come up when I imagine myself living a healthy lifestyle? Write them all down. Your negative thoughts, your fears. I don't deserve it. I can't do it. Whatever it is, write it all down. Number 2 question. Does it make sense to me that if I could get the right mindset, if I could change my head, because that's 92.8% of the challenge, does it make sense to me that if I could get my head right, I could do this? I could actually get to my goal weight and maintain it if I could get my head right. Because if I could get my head right, that would mean that I would not feel guilty taking care of myself. I would be able to say yes to myself and no to other people. Of course, if you have a job, which I'm sure that you rock it in your career life, of course you're going to go to work and do your career and do great there. But all of these other, you know what I mean? How you constantly, you're giving all of your extra time to others and then you resent it and then you go eat donuts because you resent it, because you have a hole in yourself that you can't fill with the donuts, and you're not taking care of yourself. Love is a verb. It's not a word. You show yourself, you love yourself with the actions you take that are loving and healthy and sane and good, and they make you feel good. Now you could argue, oh, but the donuts make me feel good. Yeah, maybe for 5 seconds, but overall you feel like shit. Number 3 question. What is my daily practice for getting a weight loss mindset and keeping a weight loss mindset? You see, this doesn't happen by magic. You've got to have a daily practice in place. Actions that you're doing for your head. What is my daily practice for feeding my mind each day before I feed my body? It's not going to happen by accident. Just like losing weight isn't going to happen by accident. Number 4 question. Who's my coach? Who is believing in me, supporting me, helping me stay accountable, helping me see what I cannot see in myself because I cannot see my own blind spots, because nobody can see their own blind spots? Who is my coach? Who's in my corner? Who's helping me get to a weight loss mindset in the least amount of time possible? Because then I don't have to try to figure all this stuff out and take 10 or 20 years putting something together that I don't have expertise in and figuring it out on my own, when my expertise is being a lawyer or whatever your expertise is, right? It's so funny that many have the mistaken thought that they should be able to figure out weight loss, the mental side of it, on their own, when they've never been able to do it, and they continue to struggle with emotional eating, binge eating, self-sabotage, and no matter how smart they are. And I've had clients who are lawyers or retired lawyers, very, very, very smart ladies, very smart. A lot of nurses, I've had a lot of clients who are nurses, very smart people. But intelligence doesn't get you out of this struggle. It's not, because it's not a logical problem. It's not logical. If intelligence could get you out of the problem, then you wouldn't be listening to my voice. Don't you agree? Does that make sense? Are you getting this? I said earlier that I would share with you how you could take your first step towards struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less if you are really serious about putting an end to your food and weight battles once and for all. If you want help to do it, if you want to bust through your barriers that you are not able to see because they are blind spots and no one can see their own blind spots, if you want to end your emotional eating, end your binge eating, end the yo-yo dieting, feel good about yourself, drop the fat and keep it off, if you want to get the right mindset, all right, that is the work that I do with my awesome coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. If you'd love to stop asking yourself, why am I so smart and successful professionally? Why is it that I know everything I need to do to lose weight, but I'm not doing it? What is the problem? If you'd love to solve that riddle and actually get out of your own way, okay? How cool would that be? Then head on over to www.discovery-session.com, www.discovery-session.com. That's where you can take your first step in applying for a complimentary one-on-one weight loss discovery session with me. You do need to apply for that call because there are very, very limited time slots. I can only speak to at most 3 people per week. And this is a limited time offer. So if you want help, if you want to fix this, if you want to stop struggling and be able to get to the place where it's no big deal for you to live a healthy lifestyle, if you'd love your body to match your otherwise successful life, If you'd love to stop wondering, why am I so smart and successful professionally, but I can't lose weight? Head on over to www.discovery-session.com. That's where you take your first step. Next week's episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, that will be episode number 124. The topic is 3 signs your weight is controlling your life. 3 signs your weight is controlling your life. So that's going to be a good one. Make sure that you're subscribed to the show in iTunes or wherever it is that you're listening to this show. I would love it and appreciate it if you would give the show a rating and a review in iTunes. It's completely free to do. All you have to do is search for The JoLynn Braley Show in iTunes. I'd love to read what your biggest aha is that you've gotten from the show. I am JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the kick-ass, amazing, empowering inner self diet, the diet that always works if you work it. It doesn't work if you just listen to me talk about it. You actually got to get in it and do the steps. I wish you your best life living inside of your ideal body.